6:45 a.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. A token system to distribute fuel from today. Schools in Colombo and other major cities to remain closed this week. A high-level delegation from the U.S. Treasury and the State Department arrive in Sri Lanka for a 3-day official visit. Circular issued restricting the calling of officers to government offices. 3-hour power cuts from today to the 3rd of July. 2 ministers will leave for Russia today to hold talks with Russian high officials to purchase oil at a lower price. In news overseas, the US firms pledge to pay staff travel expenses for abortions. In sports news, Andy Murray grateful to be reunited with Ivan Lendl for Wimbledon. Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara says that a token system to distribute fuel is to be introduced from today, the 27th of June. Speaking during a press briefing in Colombo, he said the decision was taken at a meeting of the Security Council chaired by the President and the Prime Minister. However, the minister requested the public not to wait in queues at filling stations until the next fuel shipment arrives, as the stocks of fuel held by the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation (CPC) are being distributed only for essential purposes. He further stated that the exact date of the arrival for the next fuel shipment cannot be confirmed at the moment. The Security Council had met on the instructions of the President and the Prime Minister. Accordingly, they have decided that from tomorrow, if there are people queuing up at filling stations, the security forces including the Army, Air Force, Navy and Police will be deployed at every filling station from tomorrow to give everyone in the queues a token in the order they are queuing up, he said yesterday. He said that the token will be issued after obtaining their telephone number so that it cannot be changed. The minister said that by the day after tomorrow, they will not be able to deliver to every filling station until they receive the next fuel shipment. Until then, he said, they intend to inform the consumers in the order of the tokens when a fuel bowser is delivered. The Ministry of Education says that schools in the Colombo zone and other major cities will remain closed this week, from today to the 1st of July. However, the ministry said that rural schools can function as normal on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. Accordingly, issuing a notice, the ministry informed that the educational activities in the schools during the week from 27th of June to the 1st of July 2022 will be conducted according to the following manner. 1. The schools where students and teachers do not have transport difficulties must be conducted normally, just as rural schools were held from the 20th of June to the 24th of June, and if there are teachers facing transport difficulties, the principal will arrange a flexible timetable for them without considering their personal leave. 2. The urban schools which were not held last week must be conducted 3 days a week, that's on Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays from 7:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. The discretion of deciding the number of days conducting primary classes in these schools lies with the principal. For absent days of students, learning activities will be continued through online teaching, assignments or home-based activities. 3. Action will be taken not to consider absent days of the teachers due to transport difficulties as personal leave. 4. The Ministry of Education extends its gratitude to the teachers and principals who contribute to conduct schools even amidst transport difficulties from the 20th of June. The Minister of Power and Energy, Kanchana Wijesekara, assures steps will be taken to provide the necessary stocks of furnace oil to produce electricity. However, there will be a slight increase in the power cut schedule, the minister added. Accordingly, 3-hour power cuts will be imposed for the next few days. The minister made these remarks at a media conference held in Colombo. Addressing the media personnel, the minister further said that the Sapugaskanda oil refinery plant has been closed temporarily. The plant will resume its operations once the crude oil ship arrives. Meanwhile, the minister said talks are being conducted with other foreign embassies to purchase oil at a low price. 2 ministers will leave for Russia to hold talks with Russian high officials in this regard. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Ministry of Public Administration has issued a circular directing the heads of government institutions to call only the minimum and essential staff for day-to-day services until further notice. The circular dated 26th June 2022 has been issued by the Secretary to the Ministry of Public Administration, Home Affairs, Provincial Councils and Local Government MMPK Maya Dunne. Quote, in view of the difficulties faced by the public in getting the day-to-day transport facilities provided, it is informed to give priority until further notice to call only the minimum staff essential to carry out the daily duties of the institution without interruption to the service stations and to allow officers to stay at home at all times possible by obtaining their services online. When the decision is made to call the officers to service stations by the secretaries to the ministries, chief secretaries of provinces, heads of departments and heads of institutions. The relevant heads of institutions, divisional heads, should ensure that decisions regarding the calling of officers to institutions that deal directly with the public are made with the advice and close supervision of the relevant secretaries to ministries, chief secretaries of provinces, the circular further states, unquote. A high-level delegation from the U.S. Treasury and the State Department arrived in Sri Lanka last morning for a 3-day official visit. The delegation arrived for talks to explore the most effective ways for the U.S. to support Sri Lankans in need, the U.S. Embassy in Colombo said. As Sri Lankans endure some of the greatest economic challenges in their history, our efforts to support economic growth and strengthen democratic institutions have never been more critical, the U.S. Ambassador Julie Chang said in a statement. The embassy said it had committed $158.75 million in new financing in the past 2 weeks to help Sri Lankans. That ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka PUCSL says it has approved power cuts of 3 hours per day from today to the 3rd of July. Accordingly, the power cuts are to be imposed as follows. Groups A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V and W, 1 hour and 40 minutes during the daytime and 1 hour and 20 minutes during the night. Group CC, 2 hours from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. except on the 2nd of July and the 3rd of July. Groups M, N, O, X, Y, Z, 3 hours from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. except on the 2nd and 3rd of July.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And now in Watchlight, the Minister of Energy Kanchana Wijesekara said Friday has been allocated for health officials to fill fuel to their vehicles at the select fuel filling stations island-wide. Accordingly, 85 filling stations are provided with this facility. The health service has been identified as one of the essential services. The select fuel stations are provided with 6,600 litres of petrol and diesel, the minister added. In world news headlines, the US firms pledge to pay staff travel expenses for abortions. Ukraine war, the UK joins ban on imports of Russian gold. A huge fire engulfs ferry in the Philippines. Major companies including Disney, JP Morgan and Facebook owner Meta have told staff they will cover employee travel expenses for abortions as millions of US women face restricted access. It follows a landmark ruling by the US Supreme Court that overturned the constitutional right to abortion. The judgment paves the way for individual states to ban the procedure. Other firms such as Amazon had already announced similar moves. The UK, US, Canada and Japan will ban imports of Russian gold in an effort to hit Moscow's ability to fund the war in Ukraine. The UK Prime Minister said the move would strike at the heart of Putin's war machine. Gold exports were worth £12.6 billion to Russia in 2021, and the UK says their importance has increased since the invasion as oligarchs rush to buy to avoid sanctions. It comes as the G7 group of the world's richest nations meet in Germany. A fire engulfed a ferry carrying 165 people in the central Philippines, and rescuers now say all but 2 have been brought to safety. 1 person is confirmed to have died and 1 is missing, the Philippine Coast Guard says. The Mama Mary Clo was sailing between the islands of Bohol and Leyte. That was world news, and now in development news, Sri Lankan Airlines launched a travel agents portal at its recently concluded Agents Appreciation Awards that provides comprehensive and up-to-date information on assorted topics that are essential to travel agents. A brainchild of the Sri Lankan Airlines Sri Lanka sales team, the travel agents portal was founded upon the significance that the airline places on travel agencies and their contribution to the travel and tourism trade. That was development news.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
In cricket news, England wicketkeeper Ben Foakes has been ruled out of the final 2 days of the third test against New Zealand after testing positive for COVID-19. Foakes, 29, did not keep wicket on day 3 at Headingley on Saturday because of a stiff back, with Johnny Bairstow taking the gloves in his place. England say after further medical assessment he has tested positive for the coronavirus. Kent Sam Billings will now replace Foakes as a COVID-19 substitute. Meanwhile, in tennis news, Andy Murray says he was turned down by a lot of coaches before reuniting for a third spell with Ivan Lendl in March. The partnership previously yielded all of Murray's major wins, 2 Wimbledon titles, a US Open and 2 Olympic golds before his long-running hip issues. The Scot, 35, is grateful Lendl still believes in him and is optimistic of being fit for his Wimbledon opener on Monday after an abdominal strain.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Ceylon Tobacco Company said that sales of cigarettes have increased by 5% in the quarter ending March 31st compared to the same quarter in 2021. In the company's financial statements for the first quarter ending March 31st, 2022, the company reported a profit after tax of 4.18 billion rupees for the first quarter.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
Despite the current economic crisis in Sri Lanka, Indonesia is still keen to enter into a preferential trade agreement (PTA) with Sri Lanka. Indonesian Ambassador to Sri Lanka Devi Gustina Tobing said at the National Chamber of Commerce organised bilateral trade discussion event recently. Speaking to media after the event, she said that some progress has been made in this regard and they are very keen to follow this up further. This is because we see tremendous trade potential between the two countries. As the only G20 member state in Southeast Asia, the country has the largest economy in the region and is classified as a newly industrialized country. As per 2022 estimate, it is the world's 17th largest economy by nominal GDP and 7th in terms of GDP at PPP.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And now for the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the western and Sabaragamu provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, Gala and Matara districts. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters may occur at some places in the Sabaragamu province and in the Kalutara, Gala and Matara districts. Several spells of showers will occur in the northwestern province. Showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the Uva province and in the Ampara district during the evening or night. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize the damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during the thunder showers. This weather report was issued this morning at 5:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com reports that the day's weather will be bright with occasional showers. Today's daytime temperature would be around 30 degrees Celsius. There will be light showers in many places in the Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 25 degrees Celsius and there will be scattered showers in select spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 25 degrees Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index AQI is 19, which shows an excellent air condition in Colombo. The air quality is ideal for most individuals to enjoy normal outdoor activities. That was the weather report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. A token system to distribute fuel from today. Schools in Colombo and other major cities to remain closed this week. A high-level delegation from the US Treasury and the State Department arrived in Sri Lanka last morning for a 3-day official visit. A circular issued restricting the calling of officers to government offices. 3-hour power cuts from today to the 3rd of July. 2 ministers will leave for Russia today to hold talks with Russian high officials to purchase oil at a lower price. In news overseas, the US firms pledged to pay staff travel expenses for abortions. In sports news, Andy Murray grateful to be reunited with Ivan Lendl for Wimbledon. As that concludes this news broadcast,